Hello, and welcome back to this channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. You have arrived at the most perfect moment in your entire life as an ARMY member. And for those of you who have been here from the very beginning, I love you all so much. Okay, everyone, I have one question before we get into anything else. Dramatic pause. Out of everyone watching this right now, how many of you absolutely screamed when you found out Run BTS 2.0 finally dropped? If you did, same. I nearly fell off my chair. But that's not what made me rush to make this video at lightning speed, everyone. What made me absolutely have to upload this as fast as possible is Jimin. Parkjimin. Because guys, in the very first episode of Run BTS 2.0 that aired on April 23rd, 2026, Jimin did something, or more accurately, experienced something, that made me laugh out loud, feel all the feelings, and shake my head in complete disbelief all at the exact same time. So, get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, and let's get into it. What happened to Jimin in Run BTS 2.0? Before we dive into those Jimin moments that made all of us collectively forget how to breathe normally, I need to give you a little bit of context first. Because if you don't understand just how massive this moment is, you won't be able to truly feel why every single second of this episode feels like a gift from the universe itself. Run BTS. 3 words that have been part of our lives since 2015. A legendary variety show created by BTS themselves. 7 men who somehow managed to be world-class performers on the biggest stages on Earth, while also screaming in absolute terror at fake zombies on a variety show. The show went on a long hiatus, and ARMY waited, patiently, impatiently, dramatically, with tears, with countless memes that filled every corner of the internet. And finally, Run BTS 2.0 is here. Everyone, this is not just another ordinary comeback. This is the first time all 7 BTS members, RM, Jin, Suga, Jhope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, have appeared together on screen after completing their mandatory military service. Can you even imagine? We've known them for years, then one by one they each left to fulfill their duty to their country. And now they are all back, gathered in one vacation house, and the chaos begins. The first episode is titled BTS Trip EP.1. And trust me, the word trip could not be more fitting. Because we are all going on an emotional journey we did not see coming. This episode absolutely exploded. Within just 10 hours of airing, the video had already crossed 3 million views. 3 million people in 10 hours. That is not a normal number. That is proof of just how hungry ARMY is for content featuring all 7 of them together. And right in the middle of all of that, there is Jimin, who somehow, always, ends up at the center of the most unexpected and most endearing moments. So let's get started. Okay, so here is the setup, everyone. All 7 BTS members arrive at a beautiful, comfortable vacation house. 3 bedrooms available. 7 people. You can already imagine how chaotic this is going to end up, right? The concept is simple. Each member chooses a room blindly. They have no idea who might already be inside. They walk in, and surprise. Simple concept. But the result? Anything but simple. So what happened? Jungkook, the youngest and reportedly the most competitive, ended up with the biggest room. Alone. With 3 beds. All to himself. Jungkook's reaction when he realized he was alone in the biggest room? A mix of satisfaction and maybe just a tiny bit of loneliness? I'm honestly not sure. His face was complicated. Then there was the second room. And who ended up in there together? Jin and Jimin. Jin and Jimin. Jimin. 2 members whose dynamic always produces absolute gold content. And everyone. The moment when Jimin opened the door and found Jin already there? That expression on Jimin's face, somewhere between oh no and oh well, I guess that's okay, is something that simply cannot be put into words. His face is like a blank canvas that can hold every single human emotion simultaneously. You know, Jimin has this incredible ability to express exactly what he's feeling through his face without saying a single word. And in this moment, his face said absolutely everything. On one hand, there was surprise. On the other, there was warmth at seeing Jin, the older brother he has known for so many years. And somewhere else, maybe just a small hope that the room wouldn't be too cramped? But what made the entire ARMY community erupt was what came next. When Jimin realized that while he and Jin were sharing a room, just the two of them, 4 other members, RM, V, Suga, and Jhope, had all accidentally walked into the same room. For people, one room, and Jimin, who had perhaps been feeling a little bit sorry for himself about having to share with Jin, suddenly became the luckiest person in that entire house. Jimin's expression when he found this out? Everyone, that was one of the most satisfied looks I have ever witnessed on any human face anywhere on this planet. A small hidden smile, eyes that sparkled just a little bit, like someone who has just won the lottery but is trying very hard to look cool about it. And this, everyone, is proof that Park Jimin is pure entertainment personified. Without even having to do anything dramatic, his very presence is enough to make everyone around him smile. Okay, now we get into what I personally believe is the absolute entertainment peak of this entire episode. Jin and Jimin, in one room, just the two of them. Now, you might be thinking, oh, they probably just went to sleep or had a chill conversation, right? Wrong. Because this is Jin and Jimin, two people who, whenever they are together, somehow always manage to create situations that no normal human logic could ever have predicted. Jin, as we all know, is the king of spontaneous comedy. This man can turn the most ordinary situation into something hilarious just by the way he reacts to it. His iconic windshield wiper laugh, his ability to dramatize the smallest things, his talent for switching from serious to completely ridiculous in 0.3 seconds. And Jimin? Jimin is someone who looks elegant and magnetic from the outside, but on the inside? On the inside lives a person full of energy who laughs very easily, panics very easily, and very easily becomes the target of other people's jokes, especially Jin's. This combination, everyone, is a recipe for gloriously entertaining disaster. Imagine Jimin, who had probably planned to rest quietly after the journey, suddenly having to deal with Jin, who is just, well, Jin. There are moments where Jimin tries to appear calm and composed, and Jin manages to completely destroy all of that in a matter of seconds, making Jimin laugh until he can't stop. There is something about the way Jin delivers his humor that always, without fail, breaks through every single one of Jimin's defenses. And the most endearing part is, Jimin tries not to laugh. He genuinely tries. But his face simply cannot lie. Those famous cheeks of his flush just slightly, his eyes narrow into crescents from a smile he's desperately trying to hold in, and in the end, his laughter bursts out completely. And when Jimin laughs, I mean really laughs, not just a polite smile for the camera. That is one of the most genuinely joyful sights in the entire world. There is a reason ARMY has always said that Jimin's smile and his laughter are healing. That is not an exaggeration. That is simply the truth. Now, this is it everyone. The moment that has been talked about the most. Nighttime. Vacation house. 7 BTS members. And one very important question that needs to be answered. Who is going to clean up after dinner? To settle this most critical question in the history of BTS's domestic life, they played a game. Zombie game. The concept, some members play the role of zombies. These zombies try to catch the other members in the darkness. Whoever gets caught, mandatory dishwashing and cleanup duty. Now let's talk about Jimin in this context. Jimin and fear. This is a topic that is not unfamiliar to ARMY. If you have been watching Run BTS from the very beginning, you know that Jimin is one of the members who is most expressive when faced with surprising or tense situations. The zombie episodes from the original Run BTS became legendary content precisely because of the members' reactions, and Jimin was always one of the most memorable. So in this latest episode, when the zombie game began, every ARMY watching must have immediately prepared themselves for the greatest entertainment of the evening. And Jimin did not disappoint. While other members tried various strategies, some hiding quietly, some attempting to negotiate with the zombies, which clearly didn't work, some simply running, Jimin chose a different path entirely. Jimin chose to become free entertainment for absolutely everyone watching. Every time there was a suspicious movement, Jimin's expression changed completely. Every time there was an unexpected sound, Jimin's body reacted before his brain even had a chance to process what was happening. There is something about the way Jimin responds to situations like these that makes it incredibly, genuinely funny, precisely because it is so natural and so completely unplanned. This is not acting. This is not content that was scripted. This is the real Park Jimin, a deeply expressive, highly reactive human being who simply cannot hide what he's feeling. And in the middle of the zombie game chaos, there was one moment that everyone, I don't want to spoil it too much because you really have to watch it yourself to fully feel how funny it is. What I can tell you is this. There was one moment where Jimin managed to escape from a situation that looked completely hopeless in the most Jimin way possible. In a way that kept him safe, but also made every other member, including the ones playing zombies, laugh so hard they couldn't continue the game with any seriousness whatsoever. And at the tail end of the zombie game, when the pillow fight finally broke out, because of course, this is Run BTS, any game will inevitably end in absolute chaos. Jimin once again proved that he is the most unpredictable character this show has ever had. Pillow fight. 7 grown adults. Pillows flying in every direction. Jin somehow always ending up in exactly the right place at exactly the wrong time. V dodging Jin's blind swings with movements far too graceful for this particular situation. Jhope stopping right in the middle of everything out of pure confusion because the situation was escalating too fast for anyone to follow. And Jimin was everywhere at once. Laughing, running, yelling, attacking, defending. And somehow, only Jimin could do all of that in a way that made him look absolutely adorable and completely entertaining at the same time. Everyone, I want to talk for a moment. A little more seriously, but still with all the love in the world. Why does Jimin always end up being the center of conversation every single time new Run BTS content drops? This is not a coincidence. And it's not simply because ARMY is focused on Jimin out of bias. There is something genuinely compelling about the way Jimin interacts with the world around him that makes him so magnetic to watch. First, authenticity. Jimin has never truly been able to hide what he's feeling. When he is happy, you can see it in his entire body. When he laughs, it is a laugh that comes from deep inside. When he is surprised, his reaction is 100% genuine. In an era where so much of entertainment feels artificial, Jimin's authenticity is a rare and precious diamond. Second, the adorable contrast. On stage, Jimin is a world-class performer, confident, powerful, magnetic. On Run BTS, he can transform in a matter of seconds into someone who is scared of a fake zombie, crying with laughter over one of Jin's terrible jokes, or completely overreacting to the smallest things. This contrast is not just endearing. It reminds us that behind all of his extraordinary achievements, Jimin is still a very real and very human person. Third, his chemistry with every other member. Jimin is an incredible social glue. His dynamic with each member is different. With Jin, there is comedy that flows completely naturally. With Jungkook, there is a long-standing playful rivalry that never fails to entertain. With V, there is a depth of friendship that is sometimes genuinely moving. With Jhope, there is an energy that is constantly lifting and supporting. And Run BTS is the arena where all of these dynamics are most visible. And fourth, perhaps most importantly, Jimin makes everyone around him shine brighter. Notice that every time Jimin is in a funny scene, the other members nearby also seem to enjoy the moment more deeply. His laughter, which bursts out so easily, gives others the confidence to let their own humor land. That is a quality that is truly rare. And it is one of the main reasons why Run BTS without all 7 members, including Jimin, would simply never feel the same. Okay, before we wrap things up, I want to give you a few small details that you might have missed if you weren't watching with your full undivided attention. Detail number 1. Jimin's expression when they first arrived at the vacation house. There was one brief moment when they first pulled up and saw the house. Every member reacted in their own way. And Jimin? There was just 1 second, literally 1 second, where his expression shifted from excited to something quieter and more contemplative. Like he was privately absorbing the "we're all back together" moment without making a big deal of it. It was fleeting, but if you caught it, it hit differently. Detail number 2. The way Jimin interacts with the camera. Jimin is one of the members most aware of the camera, but not in an artificial way. He is aware that ARMY is watching, and every so often there are moments where he seems to speak directly to the audience through his expression alone, without any words at all. A small smile. A look that says, "You saw that too, right?" Details like these are exactly why Jimin always makes viewers feel genuinely included. Detail number 3. The Jimin and Jungkook moments. You all know the Jungkook dynamic by now, right? Well, in this episode there were several small interactions between Jimin and Jungkook that were interesting. Their long-standing playful rivalry hasn't gone anywhere. And there was one moment, specifically during the zombie game, where the two of them seemed to be negotiating silently with just their eyes, without saying a single word, deciding whether they were going to team up or completely betray each other. Classic Jungkook energy, completely unchanged. Detail number 4, Jimin and Jin's laughter. This is probably the most genuinely sweet one. Several times throughout the episode, Jimin started laughing before Jin had even finished delivering his joke. It seems like Jimin has become so in tune with Jin's comedic timing that he already knows when to laugh even before the punchline arrives. That is a level of closeness that simply cannot be faked. And it is beautiful proof of just how deep their friendship truly runs. Okay everyone, we are almost at the end of this video. But before we say goodbye, I want to take a moment to speculate a little about what might be coming in the next episodes. Episode 2 is scheduled to drop on April 30th, 2026, and Episode 3 on May 5th, 2026. And from everything we've already seen in this first episode, there is so much to look forward to. First, the dynamic between the 7 members who are newly reunited after military service is still evolving. There is chemistry that is deeply mature. Years of being together have given them an instinctive understanding of how to interact with each other. But there are also new layers. They are the same people, but they've each been through different experiences. How will that color their interactions going forward? That is genuinely fascinating to watch unfold. Second, based on what we've seen in the teasers, it looks like the BTS trip will continue with increasingly challenging activities. And if the very first episode, which was just about picking rooms and playing a zombie game, was already this chaotic and entertaining, imagine when they start facing bigger challenges. And third, of course, we are all dying to know what new Jimin moment is waiting for us. Because one thing has been proven true time and time again over many years. Every single episode of Run BTS produces at least one new Jimin moment. One expression, one reaction, one completely unplanned incident that then becomes a permanent part of the collection of memories that ARMY carries with them forever. Everyone, Run BTS 2.0 has only just begun. And from just one single first episode, you can already feel just how enormous our collective longing has been, and how absolutely perfect this reunion is. BTS is back, all 7, together, and Jimin, with all of his spontaneous hilarity, with all of the authenticity of his expressions, with all of the warmth he brings to every single interaction, reminds us once again why we fell in love with this person in the first place. Not just because of his extraordinary talent, not just because of his breathtaking performances on stage, but because Park Jimin is a deeply genuine human being, who even in the middle of being one of the most famous artists in the world, can still laugh freely at one of Jin's terrible jokes, still panic at a fake zombie, still make everyone around him feel happy simply by being present. And we are so incredibly lucky to witness all of it. So for everyone who watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for going through these precious moments with me. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below which Jimin moment made you smile the most. See you in the next video. And as always, Orihi, Purple Heart.